Welcome back. It's your boy DJ Gary. It's kind of cold in here, so excuse the hat. I'm saying, gotta make sure my. I'm saying, my shit is real sensitive. So what I'm saying. Not the hair, but I'm saying my lungs is very sensitive. So you know. But anyway, let's get to it. Uh, Fantano, Fantano, uh, Fantano, whatever. Uh, he's a YouTuber who does reviews on classic albums. He's kind of like me, you know what I'm saying? Like, I blog about classic albums and whatnot. Um, so he made a review about Thriller, about how Thriller is not a 10. He gave his critiques, and the community is kind of like Michael Jackson community, fan community is kind of like in a surge or whatever. They going crazy, you know what I'm saying? They pulling out the blickies, they pulling out the hammers, the burners. They just turn over everything, and I'm saying you know, about to you know, pull a strap. You know what I'm saying? Gaffle him up, take him to Neverland. Anyway, so this is my thoughts on his Thriller is Not a 10 video. What I say to that, I say is I think I recorded this video, but I don't know if you know if it's gonna post. Anyways, well, what I think essentially what he's saying is I mean I kind of get what he was saying about the girl is mine. I'm saying nobody really listens to the girl's mind. I mean, really, the girl's mind wasn't really a factor. Uh, it's not really a factor on the streaming services. That's for one. Uh, for two, we could say the girl's mind is a coffee break. Michael Jackson released it as like I think what the first single, whoever. I think it came up. I think it went number two or something like that. Number three. Correct me if I'm wrong. But to say the least, uh, I mean, we kind of we talk ish about the girl's mind. You know what I'm saying? You know, I think if Stevie Wonder was on the track, maybe you know what I'm saying it would have been memorable. I mean, I don't go out my way listening to it. You know what I'm saying? Uh, that doesn't take away from Thriller being a 10 though. Thriller is a 10. Some people regard it as a 9 because sometimes when I'm having conversations, some people will be like, well, Thriller is a 9. Off the Wall was more of a 10. I mean, everybody got their opinion. So, I'm not going to bash Fantano, whatever his name is, uh, for his thoughts on Thriller not being a 10. I mean, I think I believe Thriller is a solid 10 because I think for me, Michael wrote more on it. You know, I mean, production wise, if you want to say production, then we could say, okay, Thriller is, we could say it's a 9. And that's because, this is new wave. This is new wave era. You know, Thriller is more pop. So people tend to give pop albums, you know, more of a 9 than a 10. Off the Wall, to me, listening to it, there's some deep cuts on there. It's a 10. Yeah, to me, Thriller is a 10, and Off the Wall is a 10. Vocally, we could say Off the Wall is a 10, production, Off the Wall 10, you know, say everything about a 10. For Thriller, we could say, hey, production was 9. We could say vocals was a 10. To me, Thriller is, you know, Michael's ambiguous pop vocals ever done. You know, because he put what he had into Off the Wall. He didn't get his achievement, so he said, "Okay, I'm gonna go into um, Thriller with more of a, you know, kind of like try to be more aggressively, you know." That's why, you know, in some of the tracks you hear his voice, you know, like what is that, the Baby Be Mine, like his voice, it kind of cracks a little bit, right? Because the he's, you know, reaching for he's reaching more of, you know, for a, you know, giving his all performance, right? But I mean, some of the I mean, but this is where I disagree on Fantano or Fontana. Human Nature. He said that that's Michael's worst uh, vocal performance. Nah, nah, I don't believe that. I disagree. To be honest, Human Nature is Michael's most, one of his greatest vocals ever. You know, I heard Human Nature demo. That's what is that? That is a one. Okay, Michael put some sauce on that. Okay, he put the sauce on it. He put the steak on the grill. He put the sauce on it. He marinated. All right, took it, barbecued it, put the foil on it, barbecued it, took it out, put it in the oven. It was a tender performance. That's what it was. Human Nature is Michael's most tender vocal ballad from you know, I can't name too many 1980s vocal performances that had a tender vocal performance. You know, artists that had a tender vocal performance. That's hard. It's hard to come by. And I'm sure I listened to every 80s song, but Michael gave it that thing. He put that thing on it. So when I hear about Human Nature being worst performance, I don't think so. Go listen to the acapella and come back. To be honest, Human Nature is, the album is great already, but Human Nature seals, to me, seals the deal. That's the extra seasoning on top. I think Michael Jackson transcended vocals like nobody ever did. That's point blank, period. All right. He transcended vocals. Nobody did it better than Michael Jackson. That's just period. Okay, we could talk about his peers. We could talk about how they could do this, they could do that. But Michael Jackson in the 80s, vocally, you know, when it came to tracks like Human Nature and all that, he did that. You know, Fantano, other criticism talk about Baby Be Mine got, you know, the, you know, whatever, uh, he makes comments on the synths or whatever. I mean, that's the new wave. You know, that's what it was back in the day. You know what I'm saying? And even I get that. You know what I'm saying? You know, I think, and you have to remember too, Thriller, you know what I'm saying, when it first was recorded, Thriller album, it didn't even sound anything like we hear on the record. It was trash. Quincy Jones, Bruce Wayne, Michael Jackson sat down and they remixed it, the whole album. So, whatever criticism he got, to me, Baby Be Mine is a good song. That's a good song too. Like Baby Be Mine is that's an essential record. I look for that record more than I look for The Girl Is Mine. Fantano did make a interesting um, comment on bad might be. I think he said something bad might be a little better. I mean, to me, bad Michael Jackson transcended. He took us to church on there. Now he gave us church, right? He gave us like a gospel performance. So, and he was able to he was pretty much you know, he was calling the shots on that album more than Quincy was. Half that album was like there until Quincy brought in Man in the Mirror, until, certain stuff like that. But I mean, Bad album is a 10. That's definitely a 10 right there. And I say that because he really, after the success of Thriller, he said, I'm gonna go 10 times harder. And that's what he did. And um but this is about Thriller. I mean, in a day, you know, his rating is his rating. I definitely say, to me, I definitely say, you know, Thriller. Uh, Thriller could fall in between the lines of a 9 and 10. You know, but I think importantly, because Thriller has transcended so many cultures, the Thriller album transcended so many cultures, and it went from here and it went from there, and it's everywhere, and it's like the most streamed and all that. Plus, anniversary is coming up. I'm gonna bop that to a 10 right there. I'm gonna bop it to a 10 because Michael Jackson was enthusiastic about uh, getting back to being number one. Um, he he really did. He did what he had to do. He really did that. Um, but as far, what I mean, some people just say, you got some people, they be like, well, Thriller is the worst album of his catalog, and some people only count Off the Wall as being uh, a 10 or whatever. That doesn't make any sense, but you know, they just say, well, Off the Wall is the only 10 of his album, of his albums, solo albums. Yeah, doesn't make any sense, right? Anyway, it's your boy DJ Gary. I'm out. Uh, Michael Jackson would have been 64 years old yesterday. R.I.P. to the king. All right, nobody will ever take the king place. Point blank. Period. Like the video, comment, subscribe. I'm out.